Yeah, what's going on tonight? Yeah, this is kind of off, and I usually kind of put the post well out that saying that I'm coming on and all that kind of stuff, but I just didn't do it tonight. So it's obviously not my scheduled day to show up, but here I am, and Saturday is just too long. There's too much stuff going on in between now and Saturday for me to just sit quiet. So here I am. Welcome to the Big Time Show podcast. Oh yeah, I'm here. That is being seen and heard live on Podbean, seen live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc., etc. Too many places. Welcome to the show tonight, in which I just want to have some fun. I got a little bit too many text messages and just a couple inboxes talking about stuff. I just decided to just come on in tonight without all the pre-warning, I guess. I just came on in. So since I'm here, we might as well have just a little fun tonight. I hope that you guys will help me out and share this little stuff as we just freestyle tonight. I don't have any notes tonight at all. None. It's just me and this mic, and then you guys. And really the freestyle, really I want to come from you guys tonight. Freestyle. So that means anything cowboy related. I hope that you guys would help me out. This is what it's all about. Or if you just want to talk about anything, I think I can handle it. So we just freestyle tonight, sports related. You want to talk about the Super Bowl, so be it. Hope that you do help me out tonight. If not, I'll just talk for maybe about 20 minutes and then get out your way. But I hope that you guys will help me in this little freestyle here tonight. I haven't seen who's on here. If anybody's on here, let me just look now on Podbean. Hey, I see Miss Ty's in the house. What is going on? I got people in the chat. Let me say hello. Let me see what's going on. Key. Hey, Key. Hey, man. How you doing tonight? Key is a part of the Spotlight Sports Network. Just in case you guys are not aware, which you should be by now, you will know that this podcast has joined the Spotlight Sports Network. Been with them maybe about, I guess, going on 2 weeks now. And in those 2 weeks, what has happened, I guess it's a good place to start, Key, because I see your question. I'm going to get to it in just a second. Thank you for your unaware production because you just produced the show right then. I've been with these guys for less than 2 weeks, and I put it on my page that this network was going somewhere. And I wasn't saying it because I joined, because I ain't nobody. But when you get a group of guys who kind of got the same type of mindset and want to do something great, and then you have guys who have some connections, good things happen. I was unaware of the connections that some of these guys have. Key is one of them here, my co-laborer in the network. And what happened was that the network got access to Super Bowl Media Day. That's right. The Spotlight Sports Network had and have access to Super Bowl Media Day. Most of you guys, if you follow me, you have already seen me publicize that with the guys that is in the group or in the network. They have had the opportunity to not only have press passes for the Super Bowl so far, but they have actually asked questions of coaches and players from both teams. Um, and they have obviously, not too many people get it. So that is a great accomplishment for the network. And yes, I had the chance to get with the Cincinnati Bengals and ask Cheeto Awuzie, a former Dallas Cowboy, a question. And I put that on my page so you guys can see that. If you have not seen it, you can go back and check out my page and you will be able to see it. So I appreciate, guys from the network. T asked me, how did I feel about interviewing Awuzie? Well, it was just good to be in the house. Just really what it's all about. And if your name got called to answer a question, of course, that's another level. Because one thing about the Super Bowl, and especially media day, you just never know who's listening. One thing we do know for sure, millions probably were listening. If you know anything about media day, it's crazy. It's more controlled, obviously, now because of the COVID situation and that. But if you know anything about it, please understand there were a lot of people listening to everyone's question. I was fortunate enough to ask one question. I asked him about what did he and his teammates feel about, especially the secondary. What did they feel about the challenge of, going against the receiving core of the Rams? And I think that was a pretty good question. He gave a pretty good, long, extensive answer. You have to do is go back to my page and look at it. But I think that was a pretty good question. We started talking about Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham and Van Jefferson, and that's not even counting the running backs coming out. And then Higbee, who's probably not going to play, but the new kid who just showed up out of nowhere, who practiced on the practice squad, from my understanding. I think he had 7 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown in the NFC Championship game. So he just became a real problem. Forgive me for not knowing his name, but thought that was a good question. I was just happy to be in the house, Keith. That's just my bottom line. Just to ask a question was big. And what it does, obviously, it puts. Hey, Kristen, I see you, Kristen, on Podbean. Oh well, thank you for the compliment on the voice. I appreciate it, but whatever. Thank you. It's just a privilege to be in the house. Sometimes it's just good just to be in the house. What that does for the network, it gives recognition to the network. It gives credence to the network. It also gives, I guess, in a sense, stability to the network, and it definitely gives the network exposure. Which, when you're young, starting off, all you need is just one chance for real exposure, and there's no telling what can happen. So that's what the network got. I think we've gained some more followers since they saw we were in the Super Bowl. As far as Super Bowl Media Day, we'll be available tomorrow. I think they do in-person stuff, but the network has access to do that leading up to Super Bowl Sunday. So it's just a great honor. Just ask me, Keith. I hope I answered your question. I don't really think it's about me. I think it's just about everybody having the opportunity to have, you can put that on your resume. Many of us are just podcasters. We just, we're not reporters. But to have that on your resume, it is what it is. So I appreciate it. We're talking tonight, Kristen. You should see that in your title there. We just freestyling on Cowboys football. So if it's football you're interested in, I'm your guy. But if you're not interested in football, then I'm probably not your guy. But that's what we're talking about tonight. So anybody that is on here, I see a few people on here, but I don't know who you are. All I see is Key in the chat box. I guess I could just look it up right here, but I appreciate you guys coming to hang with me. Let's talk Cowboys football or anything football related. I just came on and I just thought it was just too much time tonight in between Monday and Saturday. That's what I didn't want to do that. So I think I see Kermit on here. Hey Kermit, if you're still here, what's going on, bro? Good to have you here in the house. Make sure I okay, y'all did it. All right. Anybody got anything to say, or I started off? Ask me anything. I'm ready to roll. I told you, just freestyle. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good night, Kristen. Thanks for popping in. Oh my. Anybody have anything that's want to say? Tommy says, hopefully, hey Tommy, what's up, brother? Glad to see you. He said, hopefully Dak wins Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Well, oh boy. My producer just gave me a note. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Dak wins Walter Man. It's a great honor. We're gonna not even knock. That means that you've done the work in the community. You've done well. And he's the candidate from the Cowboys, so that's special enough to even be nominated for that. I don't know, extensively what he has done in the community. I'm quite sure it's a lot. Obviously, I just don't know to what extent. And when you start talking about the Man of the Year award, it's never about how much it's kind of like how much impact has been made. So he has a chance just like everybody else in there. It would be nice for Dak to add that award to him. It fits, his descriptions that everyone has of him as far as being, a leader and being, a good man outside the football field, and says the right things, does the right things, impactful in the community. So, it does fit that. We'll just have to see later tonight if he comes away with it. Hermit asks, what do you think about Jimmy Johnson's comments about Jerry Jones? Well, I don't see no lies. It's just me. Hey, Shane, I see you. I'm coming to your question next. I'm asking Kermit's question now. I don't see no lies. Jerry. Well, one thing about Jimmy Johnson, he knows him. They played together, won a national championship together in college. He worked for him as the head coach of the Cowboys. He knows him quite well. He knows what buttons to push. He knows a lot of stuff. Now, mixed in between that, somebody will say, oh, Jimmy just upset and mad and all that kind of stuff. That may be true also, but that does not negate the truth. Of course, Jimmy wants to be in the Ring of Honor. Of course, Jimmy thinks it's taking too long. He's right about that, but that does not mean what he said about Jared last week. That does not mean that it's wrong. He is not wrong. Jerry Jones is a person that never wants to admit that he's wrong. He always try to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's just how Jerry Jones is. You can't knock it because he's a billionaire. This is a philosophy that he's lived by, and it has obviously worked. A lot of people, when you finish talking bad about Jerry Jones, there are two things that you cannot negate. Number one, he got 3 rings on his finger. Now, whether you want to give that credit to Jimmy Johnson or whoever, it makes no difference. He paid for it. He got 3 rings on his fingers. Not too many people got 3 rings. So let's keep that in mind. Number 2, he's in the Hall of Fame, which means he's one of the best to ever do it. And I don't care what you say about Jerry Jones. He is one of the best to ever do it in whatever, in his field. But even in that, again, I say, that does not make Jimmy's comments wrong. Jerry has gotten in the way. And then some things that he needs to get in the way of, he does not. So, we live in a what have you done for me lately type world. I guess that's where we are. And that's what Jimmy said. It doesn't mean that Jerry's not great. It just means you're not doing great things right now. I agree with Jimmy Johnson, what he said. Shane says, Bishop, let's talk special teams. What can we do besides sign Anger back to improve our special teams? Are we talking everything, or are we just talking kickers, Shane? I think it's obvious we need another kicker. That's for sure. That's how you improve. You get somebody that can make field goals. Zerline missed a lot of critical field goals last year. We need more consistency and accuracy in a kicker. So that's I don't know if that's exactly what you were talking about, but that's one area I think you are. So I believe that's one thing is for sure. Oh, you said everything. Well, let's go that route, okay? Kickoff team. Kickoff team is pretty much based on a whole bunch of athletes. And then when you looked at our guys, we had a lot of guys that were incredibly talented, but could not break the ceiling of becoming a starter. That's why you had Boss Man Fat, for instance, playing there. Usually the guy that's drafted in the second round would be a starter. Now I know he was sick and hurt and all that kind of stuff. We had to get back in, but that just goes to show you. So when you start talking about special teams, kickoff coverage, that's an athlete type of position. You gotta have guys that run like wild dogs and go knock somebody's head off, kickoff wise. So I think the answer to that is getting key players that aren't going to be starters. And one thing the Cowboys have done, no matter what we say about them, when it comes to personnel drafting or little free agencies, the personnel has done well, especially this year. When we start talking about kickoff return, Pollard has become a serious threat. The only question that I have is, how long are you going to let him keep doing it, especially since we know that Pollard is needed for heavier running back production. So he's dangerous as a kickoff returner, but are you going to risk him? So I think one way we can do that, Shane, is to get somebody back there that specializes, whether it's a cornerback or a wide receiver, whoever it is. They need to be good at what they do, plus be an effective return type person. So, in other words, I guess the word that the Jones family love is position flex. That's what they like. So, hopefully that's what we can do. That's how you can improve that. I don't think we want Pollard back there too much more, especially since Zeke getting hurt every year. I guarantee you, if Zeke get hurt, and we started talking about Pollard being the number one running back, for instance, he won't be returning kicks. So I think it's time for us to even look at that. I agree with that. The punt team. Anger, of course, is a Pro Bowler. So we have that locked up. Nobody blocked the punt, didn't block our punt. So we did pretty well on there. I thought Bones did an incredible job with the punt block team. I mean, we blocked 3 or 4 punts this year. We ain't never done that. So special teams is one of our, actually, other than our field goal kicker, it's actually one of our solid spots or solid units on this team. That's just what I'm thinking. I think we're good on there. We just need to make some decisions on Tony Pollard, if you ask me. We just can't do this. We need him. Tommy says Chase won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He should have. He's a second team All-Pro in his rookie year. Second team. You know he's a Pro Bowl, but second team All-Pro as a rookie wide receiver. Oh, that's automatic rookie of the year. And then Tommy says that Michael Parsons is the defensive rookie of the year. I don't think that's no surprise to anybody. That award was locked up by week 6. You know what I'm saying? That's no surprise. What would have been the surprise is if he didn't win. That would have been the surprise. So congratulations to Jamar Chase and Michael Parsons. I think Jamar Chase was probably locked his up earlier too. So that's big. That's big. That's big. Cowboys have an award winner. And he has a chance, even though I don't think he's going to get it. Michael Parsons has a chance to be Defensive Player of the Year, but I don't think he's going to win. I think Watt is going to win that tonight. P.J. Watt, who I think tied Michael Strahan's record for most sacks in the year. I think it's 22.5. It's kind of hard for somebody else to get it. Despite the Steelers' record, I still think that is that T.J. Watt did win. So, there's no surprise there. All right. Y'all guys have got to help me because I'm not even looking at it. So thank y'all for helping me out. Watt already won it. Yeah, so that, I think that's actually a good vote, actually. That Watt did win. Michael Parsons had an outstanding year. And then it came out this week. I don't know if you guys saw it. Say his knee was messed up from week 4, I believe. That's what he put out. That after week 4, his knee was messed up. Good Lord of mercy! I mean, if his knee was messed up and he produced like that, can you imagine if his knee wasn't hurt? Good Lord! I mean, Michael Parsons was a monster this year. And I believe that it's going to even be worse next year. I mean, he's going to even be better. That's what I'm saying. Because he'll be in his second year. With Dan Quinn, and I'm quite sure Quinn will have a plan for him. He knows the defense. You can play fast. You ain't got to learn a new defense. You can play fast. So I'm looking for Parsons to really let it loose next year. For real. No question about that. Shane, thank y'all. Y'all freestyling. That's what I told you guys. You guys are freestyling tonight. Shane said if the Cowboys let Amari walk, do they draft a wide receiver in the first round? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I don't see that happening. And then at 24, no. This is my philosophy, Shane. And I'm not insulting I'm not insulting when I say this. At least I'm trying not to. But I think I've said this before, but I guess it fits right here. See, we're at a position when you have guys like uh, a Mahomes or a Rodgers, the great quarterbacks like that. And you have to. They make up for a lot of small areas of mistakes that a team has because their greatness covers that. But when you don't have one of those guys like that, or you have a game manager type quarterback, and I think that kind of leans that way. I think he's a game manager. They might think Dak is more of a game manager quarterback with tendencies of he's a game manager quarterback with elite moments. Does that make sense? I think that does. I think I just said something right there. Dak is more of a game manager that has every now and then some elite type moments where he can go to another level, but that's really not his level because he does not do it consistently enough. But he can light you up for 400 yards if you don't be careful. You see what I'm saying? He's closer to Alex Smith type football than to Aaron Rodgers type football. Y'all see what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with Alex Smith. Alex Smith will get you double-digit wins every year. He will get you to the playoffs every year. He can sneak up on you and put you in the championship game if you don't watch out. That's how Alex Smith was. Alex just couldn't win it all. But nobody could say he didn't know what he was doing. Nobody could not say he was not effective. He was a game manager, and he was a great one. I think Dak leaning toward that way, and I'm not saying Alex Smith is better than Dak Prescott. I'm not saying that. I'm saying his game does that. He's not on that type level, and because of that, Shane, you need, when you have that type of quarterback, and you don't have to agree with me, it's just the way I see it. When you have that type of quarterback, you need to make sure that one of your units is as strong as it can be. What I'm saying is you got 3 units on your team: offense, defense, special teams. One of those, when you got a game manager type quarterback, your offense really isn't elite. Even though some of y'all gonna say, well, good God, Bishop, Cowboys were the number 1 offense in the league, and all that kind of stuff. I think they were fools gold. Look at it. That's why we were so frustrated. You was elite against teams that were not good enough. When you went against other teams, our offense was not elite enough. It wasn't great. It just wasn't. So, Shane, when you have that type of quarterback who's really not known for covering up mistakes or covering up mistakes of the team or able to take over a game, you need to make sure one of your units is as strong as it can be. So, to go back what you asked, Shane, it's just me. If we're at 24 drafting, I really believe that this defense is closer to being dominant than they are to being good. And that's going to be dependent upon who we line up with. For instance, if we got, most of the guys that we had last year, then we can have it. Chill Will on Podbean. I see you, brother. Chill Will was saying kind of like David, Dak and David Carr kind of like the same quarterback. They're good, but they won't win you a Super Bowl. I've seen, game managers win Super Bowls. So Mike says Eli Manning was a game manager. Well, Eli got 2 rings on his finger. So you can win it, but look at those teams. Look at Eli. Eli didn't have to be dominant, but the defense was. You see what I'm saying? Dominant. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. And Trent Dilfer wasn't known as an elite quarterback. But what did he have? He had a dominant defense. That's when Ray Lewis first came into the league. A dominant defense, all-time great. That's what makes up. So one unit has to be like that. When Flacco won the Super Bowl that year and Ray Lewis last year, it wasn't, Joe got hot, but who carried the team for the entire year? The defense. Y'all remember the Baltimore Ravens defenses? I mean, that, Reed and Suggs and Ray Lewis and all, Nada, that was dominance. You knew all you need to do is just hold, Ray said, give. It was one time Ray Lewis was saying, just give us, 10-point lead or a 7-point lead. We got it from them. I mean, that's how dominant they were. They weren't, so because of the way I feel about that, I feel like that is what we need. We need that type of dominant defense or getting close to it. So our defense can kind of make up for what the offense won't do. They can't run the ball. They can't score. They always, that type of stuff. Well, you need a defense that's going to hold teams down completely. That's what we need to do. Tommy says he thought Dak would win comeback player of the year. Joe Burrow won. I don't think Dak had a chance. Now, look, it's simple, Tommy. Where's Joe Burrow playing in a couple of days? He's coming off ACL, all that kind of stuff. I mean, come on now. Dak is at home. Joe is in the Super Bowl. I don't think it's not even close. As a matter of fact, I bet you that was unanimous, actually. Joe Burrow deserved to win that award. No doubt about that. No. Shane, I hope you understand what I was saying with that. If we be honest about the situation, you got to make your defense dominant this year. That's what I'm hoping that we draft defensively, to be honest with you. I hope that there's a player that we kind of covet that we can put in, plug in, and play immediately to try to get this defense even more dominant than what it was. What'd you say over here, Chill Will? Yeah. Eli was not a game manager in the clutch. He was clutching in one of them Super Bowls, though. I gotta give him credit. I ain't no fan of him. He was. Joe Flacco was not dumb yet. They raised the game like Robert Orr. Exactly. Elite moments. You know anything about basketball? This Robert Orr was clutch in those moments. Trent was the only real game manager. He said Eli and Joe in the playoffs was great, clutch. Even the road dude from Philly played lights out with these guys. Only win once, twice a decade. He's talking about Nick Foles. Chia Will's talking about Nick Foles, where he just had a few games of elite moments, but he's really not elite. See what I'm saying? They're not Holmes. They're not Rodgers. They can elevate their game to have some elite moments. They're not consistently elite. That's what Dak to me is. Mark Evans says Dak would be a most improved player. I don't know who the candidates are, Mike, but I don't think Dak walking away with absolutely nothing this year. That's just me. I don't think Dak would be. I knew he wasn't going to get comeback player of the year. I don't think he would get most improved. I don't think that he will win Man of the Year this year. I just don't think he will win anything. It's good to be nominated. I just don't see him winning anything. It is what it is. What else, you guys? What else, you guys? Hey, Jasper Snacks. Chill Will says he don't think Dak is close to Eli. Are you saying, Chill Will, you don't think that Dak is as good as Eli was? Or are you saying he has a lot of talent? Okay, Chill Will is saying he don't think that Dak is not even close to the talent level of Eli Manning. Well, be truthful, y'all. If anybody gonna have any tension with that, I don't think really it should be, because let's be truthful. Eli Manning will be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. He may not get in on the first round, but I'm saying that he will, to be honest with you, because he's NFL royalty. The Manning family is royalty. I think the voters are going to be nice to Eli, and I think he will get in. I think he will. And, of course, let's not forget the fact that Eli Manning does have 2 Super Bowl rings. So I think Eli definitely will get in without a doubt. The question is, will it be a first ballot? But he's going to get in. So based off that, Dak Prescott, you think Dak Prescott, you're not even thinking Hall of Fame yet. So I gotta agree with the Chill Will there. That he's see, you can't even just put it in the conversation. He got a lot to do to catch up to Eli as far as that goes. Eli was number 1 all draft pick too. I think it's fair. I think it's unfair sometimes to. No, he wasn't trash. Eli Manning wasn't trash now. He was not trash. He just was in an era where he had to be included in with Breeze and Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and you switch over to AFC, you get kind of swallowed up when you got a whole bunch of good quarterbacks. But he wasn't trash. He was not trash. He won. He won twice. He was pretty good. You gotta keep in mind, Dak was a 4th round pick. I think that's what a lot of people kind of get messed up in comparison. Dak was 4th round for a reason. It was. And based off that, I'm going to say that Dak has exceeded his 4th round draft pick. I'll say that. I don't think there's no question about that. He's a 4th rounder that has exceeded expectations. I don't think nobody predicted that Dak Prescott, when he first got drafted, said, hey, this guy will win a Super Bowl. This guy's going to win multiple Super Bowls. Nobody said that about Dak Prescott. Nobody said that. Now, they said that better. They said that maybe for everybody. Yeah. But Just, I don't know who you are, but Just, I'm just going to call you Just. You said that Eli was the best quarterback in games that mattered. Hey, when the lights shine on Eli, hey, he showed up. When all the chips were on the table, you can't take it from him. And he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. So, Thomas said Dak will blow Eli's stats out of the water. Well, it's a little different time on that time too, but I don't know. Mike said Dak could win the MVP, Super Bowl, and Super Bowl MVP in the same year, and people will still find a reason to hate on him. Now that's true. That's true. There's an inner hate that's inside for Dak Prescott that he just can't do right. So, I agree with that. I agree with that statement. A lot of people just don't like that. I get that. Chill Will said that's the LeBron versus Jordan argument. Exactly. It's a different league now. Eli was just coming in on that tail end of ball control offense, and he caught a little bit of the pass happy league that we have now. So he was kind of caught in as far as a generational offensive play calling goes. Let's just say that it is what it is. But I don't think it's look. He's gonna get into the Hall of Fame. Ain't no doubt about that. He has the numbers. He has the rings. He's gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Eli is still playing his twin. He's playing for the Giants now. I'm talking about Daniel Jones. But you see Jones, and it got nothing to do with his game, Bishop. Oh yeah, Mike. Well, you want to carry me there, huh, Mike? Huh? Jill Will said Dak's stats probably be better than Joe Montana. Shoot, man, the quarterbacks that are going in now, Jill Will, they are better than Montana, his stats. But we all know those that saw us or who are old enough to, for those that have seen Montana play, we know how he was. Didn't need the stats. He was dominant. Jasper Sachs, hey Jasper, on Podbean, he says Eli won his first Super Bowl. His 8th year, Dak still got time. At this point, Jasper, to be honest with you, I don't care if Dak won the Super Bowl in his 10th or 11th year, as long as he wins one. That validates him. Let me just say it like this, and I'm not trying to bring it up as a debate, but let's just be honest. If Romo would have just had one Super Bowl on his resume, he would be in the Hall of Fame right now. His numbers speak for itself. Tony Romo has Hall of Fame numbers. No doubt about that. But he didn't win. And that's what's going to keep him out. All he needs was that one. It's just like this now. We have a perfect example this Sunday. Watch this. If Matthew Stafford, I'm just asking y'all help me out. If Matthew Stafford wins Sunday, is he a Hall of Famer? Because the narrative about him has to change just with the win. He don't even have to win. He don't even have to be the MVP. I'm serious. Watch this. If Phillip Rivers would have won one Super Bowl, will Phillip Rivers be a no doubt Hall of Famer? Because the numbers speak for himself. You got a lot of quarterbacks that's in the Hall of Fame that did not win Super Bowl. They just had incredible numbers. And Phillip Rivers is one. Eli won, so let me take that back. But Matthew Stafford, if he wins, Matthew Stafford got the numbers, y'all. Y'all need to go look at this thing. His narrative will change. You can't say he never won and you trying to keep him associated with Detroit. Everybody said the same thing. He played on bad football teams. He had an elite receiver in Megatron. But other than that, that's all he had. And it's always been said, hey, Gary, that if Stafford was on the team or had a good team, he can do some things. Well, see what he's doing this year. So that's really, since we're talking about Eli and the Hall of Fame, which I think he's going to get in, I'm just saying it's the same situation. If Stafford wins, the whole narrative of him changes just like that. And I think that he, Well, let's put it this way. Prior to him getting on the reins, you wouldn't even put Matthew Stafford even in the conversation for Hall of Fame. What I'm saying is, if he wins and the numbers that he has for his career, he's got to be mentioned in the conversation. That's how quick the narrative changes. That's what winning does when you're on the borderline. Chill Will says Phillip Rivers probably going anyway. I mean, the numbers are too high. I like what you're talking, Chill Will. That's just really the truth. For Rivers, the numbers are just incredible. Y'all look some of this stuff up. McNabb, Jasper asked about Donovan McNabb. I think eventually, Snacks, Jasper, I believe that he will get in. And he may have to wait a little bit longer, but I think eventually Donovan will get in. I do. Yeah. Gary says River was a good quarterback in his prime. Exactly. He just was in the era of always running. The AFC belonged to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady during that time. Come on, y'all. I mean, it's hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to beat those two guys. Just because he didn't beat them didn't mean that he wasn't taking care of business. Phillip Rivers whooped folks. Tony says, so you saying Romo won't get in? I don't think Tony gonna get in. Tony gonna be in the conversation no time. I don't think Romo gonna get in. See, you also have to take in the fact of who voting for these guys. And usually these voters remember stuff. So when everybody thinks about Romo, the stigma on him was he didn't win enough. He kept the franchise afloat. If it weren't for Romo, all them 8 and 8 years, if Romo wasn't on the team, we wouldn't have won but 2 or 3 games. I give it that. But when it came to the big games, he really didn't win. And you can't be a Hall of Famer if you didn't step up when the lights was the brightest. We weren't even getting in the playoffs. And like I said, that wasn't all Romo's fault because he carried this franchise for all those years. He did do that. I think that let's forget the Hall of Fame, Tommy. Let me ask you this. Will Romo even make the Cowboys Ring of Honor? How about that one? Jason Witten will. DeMarcus Ware will. I think DeMarcus Ware is going to the Hall of Fame tonight. And if he doesn't get in first ballot, that's a shame. I think Ware will go in. I'm saying with DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten, those guys are going. Tommy says, you think Romo is going into... Okay, he said, of course, Jerry loved him. Well, let me put it this way. He will be the first guy, and look, let the facts be the facts. If Tony Romo makes the Ring of Honor, he will make the Ring of Honor with no credentials. Everybody in that Ring of Honor got some commas by their name. When I say commas, I'm talking about championships, all pros. I ain't even say Pro Bowl. I'm just saying all pros. There's a lot of stuff that's behind those guys' names. Romo ain't got nothing. I know y'all love him. I love him too, but he ain't got nothing. Romo was never an all-pro. He made Pro Bowls. Tommy says he broke all the Troy's records, but that's kind of disguised because it was a different game. Troy had Emmitt Smith. Troy Aikman shouldn't really have no records when you got Emmitt Smith and the offensive line he had. He should have been throwing the ball. No, sir. No. That's different. Tony Romo had nothing. He had 1 year where they finally decided to run the ball and ran DeMarco Murray into the ground. You know, so I mean, it's a different. He can love him. I see you cheer with that he love him like a son. I know he does, but them guys that's in that Ring of Honor got, you know what I'm saying? Those guys got a resume behind their name. World champions and you know, Super Bowl wins, all pro selection, Hall of Famers. Romo ain't got nothing on his name. I love him. He ain't got nothing behind his name. Other than saying he made 3 or 4 Pro Bowls, three or 4, whichever one. That's it. And you say he breaking records. On that note, as great as Dez Bryant was, Dez may not be going to the Ring of Honor either. Now, forget the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, Dez may not even make the Ring of Honor. Now, I ain't talking about because, you know, he's saying stuff about Dallas. Well, you know he ain't going in now. The way he talking about the Cowboys, that ain't going. Dez ain't going in. Not the Ring of Honor. You know, but I'm just trying to show you what one win would do for a quarterback. One win. And if that one quarterback has numbers, if he puts a Super Bowl win on top of that, things get a little more clear for that quarterback. I'm telling y'all, if Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl with the numbers that he has, he is going to be, now somebody going to have to call his name at the table and say, hey, let's have a discussion. Right now, no. Because all you got is Detroit. And then, you know, Detroit days ain't going to get him in. But if he win with the Rams, they're going to say, okay, we know he had bad teams in Detroit. But when he got with a team, this is what he did. Okay? Y'all talking so good, I got to keep going for him. How do you go and get in the Ring of Honor? Votes from the people who are in the ring or just Jerry? It's just Jerry, Chia Will. Jerry Jones is the sole owner. The only vote that'll get him in. And keep in mind, we talking about the same Jerry Jones who has not put in Jimmy Johnson yet. So if Jimmy Johnson is not in, Lord have mercy. Come on now. Chia Will said he gonna have to win this convincingly to be considered for Hall of Fame. Stafford, that is. I don't know. You know, I'm sorry. Y'all freestyling tonight. I just said, you know, I know Stafford has some serious numbers. I know he does. I'm just saying that, you know, if he wins, and let's just go on roll the dice even more. Let's say he's the MVP of the Super Bowl. Well, that really, you know, that'll get the conversation going. I'm not saying he'll be a first ballot. I'm not even saying he'll be a second ballot. But like I said, we got quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that did not win. Warren Moon, Dan Fouts, Dan Marino. I mean, there's just a few guys just off the top of my head that are in the Hall of Fame, and they were great. Jim Kelly, but you know, he did carry Buffalo to what, four straight Super Bowls. I mean, that's Hall of Fame worthy. So I ain't gonna even knock Jim Kelly for him not winning. You know, it's hard to get to the Super Bowl, but if you make 4 straight, and come on now, that's That's unheard of. So he said, but Hall of Fame took bad. Who was that? Hey, Pastor, it popped in. Let me see. Will said, but Hall of Fame took bad team. I don't know which one you're talking about. I don't know which Hall of Fame quarter you're talking about. But he took bad teams and elevated them. He never did that. He's not in it. Them Stafford not close. A Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, you know, like I said, they were great. You know, like Phillip Rivers would have a whole lot more respect if it wasn't for Peyton Manning and Tom Brady being in the AFC. It's just that was the roadblock. Gary said if it was not for racism, Warren Moon would hold all the passing records. Amen to that. Everybody knows Warren Moon, but you got to be a little bit older to remember that Warren Moon is also a Canadian Football League Hall of Fame. You know why, right? Because he lit it up in the CFL too. You ought to look up his stats there. If Warren would have had a chance to play in the NFL as a quarterback from the beginning, nobody would catch the record because it would be so high up there. It would been ridiculous. And you got to keep in mind, Warren played in that era where it was more ball control, but Warren Moon was lighting it up everywhere he went. So I agree with you 100% on that one, Gary. I can't even argue that. It wouldn't even been close. Yeah, Rivers gets more respect than Stafford, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to count, you got to put that in effect. Like, who did they play? And who did he play? And who was there? Tom Brady was with the Patriots, and Peyton was with the Colts. Peyton, if you want to throw it in, Peyton was with the Broncos. I mean, you can't get. I mean, it's hard to get. It's hard to beat those guys. They had the AFC on lock. I mean, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady for those 10 to 12 years, when nobody getting past them. Nobody. I don't care how great the quarter. Ben snuck in though. Ben the Roethlisberger snuck in. I give him that. Ben did sneak in. Got two out of it. Which is why it's obvious he's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Fame without a doubt. Ben. I'm just trying to show you the narrative that the narrative will change on Stafford. Whether you agree or not, whether you think he's going in the Hall of Fame or not, I just think that he's gonna start getting conversation if he wins, because he will have the numbers. Exactly, Gary. Gary says it's like being Reggie Miller in the Jordan area. I mean, how many people did Jordan stop from winning? Just in the East. Look, in the Eastern Conference. I mean, look at the names that were there. Gary brings up Reggie. I mean, Patrick Ewing. I mean, good God. I mean, Dominique. I mean, come on now. Jordan had the whole league on lock. He stopped Stockton and Malone from winning. I mean, good God. It just doesn't mean that they're great. It's just certain guys that are the standard of an era that you just couldn't beat. You just couldn't do it. Hey, Wendy, I see you. And that's what Peyton and Tom represented for people like Rivers, Breeze couldn't get past. Breeze couldn't get nowhere. He snuck in and finally won one. Chill Will said, people who go to the Hall of Fame do like Joe Burrow, take a mediocre squad and elevates them. Stafford never did that. He had to have the best receiver, best offensive coach, best defense. And that, what you just said, Chill will be the argument that people will say. I'm not even disputing what you're saying, because what you just said are facts. Yeah, That hurt me worse, that Gary. I see Gary said Shaq and Penny couldn't even get there because of Jordan. I live here in Memphis, so I don't have to say anything how what Penny Hardaway means to this city of Memphis and what he represented. We wanted Penny to win so bad, especially when he made the finals, but he couldn't do anything. Chill, Will, you're absolutely right. Everything you just said, I'm gonna read it again for you guys to hear what he said. He said people who go into the Hall of Fame do like Joe Burrow does. He takes a mediocre squad and elevates them. Stafford never did that. He had to have the best receiver, best offensive coach, and the best defense. That's pretty much what he has in Los Angeles right now. Cooper Kupp obviously is the best receiver in football. McVay, great coach, great offensive mind, and he says the best defense. The Rams are playing lights out. Shane, it is freestyle, so Mike asked me a basketball question. He says, who do you believe won the Nets Sixers trade today? To be honest with you, I'm going to say the Brooklyn Nets. All right. Here's my reason. Joel Embiid is great. Should be, if we had to vote today, he would probably be the MVP. Okay. However, when you bring in a James Harden, who's a ball dominant type guy, dribble, shot clock down to 3, you got a problem. Now Harden can pass the ball, he does well. I just don't know how well that's gonna work. It's gonna work real good on some night. But in the playoffs, I don't know. The Nets, however, just from a basketball perspective, they won the deal, and it's not only because of getting Ben Simmons. They got Seth Curry too. I mean, that's the part that I was shocked on. I was shocked that the Sixers would even let go of Seth. That's major, because what you do now, can you imagine Seth Curry playing with KD? He gonna have some shots that's gonna be just wide open. Ben, the way that he plays, who when he gets in the lane is gonna draw a double team. Curry just gonna be sitting out there just shooting horse now, and he's a Curry, so you know what that means. That means he'll light you up, and just ain't no doubt about that. So I think that the Nets. Now, personally, I don't like Ben Simmons because I think he has some qualities that are not too manly. Let me just say it like that. Hopefully he got his head together. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't want to get in no trouble tonight, but I was about to say something. Chill Will says trade was ridiculous. They got 2 draft picks too, also with that. So the Nets, James Harden, when you trade with James Harden, because he's still one of the best, you're gonna pay a price. I was just shocked that Curry got caught up in that. I thought they were gonna give up maybe Tobias Harris or somebody. That's what I thought. I didn't think they were gonna give up Curry. The Nets got better. The Nets got better. And the thing about Ben, let me throw this in, because, and actually I don't know if the Nets were thinking this, but it's just first thing I thought. Okay, the COVID issue, in which I think New York has not uplifted their rule about COVID, so that's why Kyrie is not playing in New York, so he's only playing away games. Okay, but getting Ben Simmons now, you just took care of that problem, because Ben at 6'11" can play the point. See, Ben Simmons is not about to be dependent upon. They ain't bring him in to score. Ben Simmons' game is going to be something like Draymond Green. Ben Simmons' stat line probably going to look something like this: 7 points, 15 assists, 14 rebounds. That sounds like a Draymond Green type stat. He ain't being brought in to score. What Ben is gonna do is become a serious problem if he got his head on right. Because he can play the 1, he can play the 2, he can play the 3, he can play the 4. I mean, he's big enough to play the 4, and Lord knows he's quick enough to play guard and outside. And we all know what a defender he is. So I'm saying when Kyrie, they took care of a serious problem. Because if Kyrie went in there, he is just Tommy, I said he is just he's that type of player. And he won't have the pressure on him to score. He won't. They got scores. So I think he's going Mike says address Drummond as a minder. He can do that. Andre Drummond can do that. Now look, Gary just put out the news and Gary wouldn't put it out if it wasn't the truth. Gary just said that now all of a sudden Ben Simmons just got vaccinated. You know why? So he can play everywhere. So they just got safer. And I think that New York is going to uplift that. I'm saying if Ben Simmons got his head on right, that's the question. Then they just solved a real problem with Kyrie being on the road. Ben is going to be Magic Johnson all over again. And look who you gonna have. I mean, come on now. Ben gonna be a problem if he's right. Ben's gonna be a problem, especially if he's playing point guard. No doubt about that. So I think the Nets got better. Now, y'all just tried to test out my basketball knowledge. I told you this is the big time show. I can talk about anything sport. I just choose to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, you understand? If y'all want to talk baseball, I can go that route. What'd you say, Tommy? You saw my Ric Flair post. Yeah, man. Man, that just made my heart glad. I just started laughing. Flair don't care. Mike Evans, did Russ get moved? No. Russell Westbrook, y'all guys know I'm a Laker fan. Russell Westbrook was not going to get moved because nobody will take on that contract that he has. Nobody will. I think Russ getting paid $40-some million. If you trade for him, you got to pay that. Nobody ain't going to pay that. Stuck with Russ. We just got to find out how to use him. That's all. That's just, as of now, he ain't got traded. There's a rumor out about John Wall getting traded for Russ, and I'm like, why? John Wall can't stay. John Wall is only good by 5 games now, and he out for the year. I mean, that's a wasted draft pick. I wouldn't have been a trade if you ask me. So I don't even want that. Exactly. There it is. Gary already said no. They tried to trade him for John Wall, but Houston wanted the first round. I'm glad that trade wasn't made. I don't even want. I don't even want it. One thing about Russell, he stay healthy. He gonna play. Russell really needs to get out of there though, because he's the type of player where he can't play with a lot of options. His game is predicated upon him being ball dominant like James Harden, and if he can't do that, he's really ineffective. I'm a Laker fan, chill, Will. I ain't the biggest LeBron James myself, because see, I'm one of those Laker fans, and you gotta keep in mind how old I am. I'm 49 years old, and I've been a Laker fan. When I see you, I'm coming. I'm a Laker fan that's been around since the late 70s, early 80s. So uh, Magic's rookie year, I remember all that from that point on. So I come from a Laker generation where the name on the front of the jersey meant everything, rather than the name on the back. And then I also come from the era of there's certain, it's just different when you put on a Laker uniform. Just it has the same vibe as when you put on a Celtic uniform. It just means something. And I wasn't a fan of LeBron even putting our jersey on because that stuff running your blood when you're a Laker fan. This ain't the Orlando Magic of it, or the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I'm saying? It means something when you put that Laker uniform on. But let me say this at the same time. You can call it whatever you want, but he brought a championship to the franchise. He's responsible for putting the banner up there, him and AD. And when you win, when you win, you are, I know you're saying a bubble ring, but that banner is up there. When you win, you add to the championship history, you are a Laker. May not be a popular Laker, but you are a Laker. So he's a Laker now. When he first came, I said, he got to win to get my respect there. He got to win. He won. So he's a part of the history now. I'll give it that. Let me go to Facebook. Wendy says, Bishop, is there no Dallas news or is it all bad? Well, we got some good news tonight. Dan Quinn was named the assistant coach of the year. That is always good. Well deserved, well earned. As the assistant coach of the year, the NFL assistant coach of the year was Dan Quinn. That's the good news, Wendy. Rightfully so. Dan Quinn changed everything for us. I agree with that 100%. The players love him. The defense played well, obviously. Led the league in turnovers. They were not the 32nd ranked defense in the league. They finished well above 20. 19, I believe. I say well above, like 19, far from 20. I think we were 19th overall, but considering where we were, that's gigantic. So that's good news. I think he's going to be, and I'm glad he's back. I think the defense is going to be better next year. And then he's going to add to the defense with some of this draft, possibly some free agency. I expect the defense to be even better than we were last year, and I think we're going to need them to be. That's just my thought. Considering that Kellen Moore came back and, we already seen the movie, how the offense is, and we know what to expect. I just think that, Will, I'm going to go back to LeBron. Here's my problem, and I don't mean to bring it up because he's a Laker now. I mean, he brought us a championship. He put the banner in the rafters. He's a great player. So y'all can dislike him all you want. LeBron is a top. The argument could be made that he's the greatest basketball player to ever play. I personally don't believe that, but I'm just saying there's an argument that could be made. He's earned the right to be in that conversation. So he, without a doubt, is a top 2, top 3 player all time. No doubt about that. I never liked him, to be honest with you, Will. This is the reason why. And most people who have followed me already know what I'm about to say. Okay. I had a problem with him because he called himself the king, and we were waiting on them to go get the crown. See, you don't get to be called a king if you ain't got no crown. In other words, if you ain't no world champion, you can't be the king. So you still call yourself the king, but the Spurs winning, the Lakers won, everybody else, and Kobe Bryant was just waiting on him. Y'all remember all those little commercials they used to do? Kobe was waiting on him in the final. He never got there. How the world you the king? Kobe was the king at the time. He won 2 back-to-back championships. Kobe was the king. The NBA was in the hands of Kobe Bryant. That's when LeBron really getting hot. The commercials, the little doll commercials, the Kobe thing. See what I'm saying? All right. You saying who he not better than? This is what I'm gonna say. Now, this is my opinion. Of course, you guys can argue. Okay. Now see right there. Let me say this. If you had to do the best player at each position all time, LeBron James is going to get the most votes as the small forward of your starting all-time 5. And Larry Bird, as great as he is, great as he was, most basketball experts are going to vote LeBron James as the greatest small forward they have ever played the game. I don't see too many arguments with that. And the case for Bird is there. No doubt about that. It's really just a matter of your preference, but I believe most people would say that LeBron is better than Bird. Now, we're not saying he is clutch as Bird was. Let's not get crazy. He was not as clutch as Bird was, but overall game, most people would say LeBron is better. So he would get the nod for the best small forward to ever play the game. Yeah. Since I did that, let me get my all-time top 5. Okay, let me do it. Since y'all making me go that route. Magic at 1, point guard. I think Magic was the best point guard they ever played. Number 2, at small guard, I don't think I even got to say it, but Jordan at 2. LeBron at 3. Tim Duncan at 4, power forward. Kareem at 5. And I know that 5 is, that's what a lot of arguments or whatever is. Some folks gonna say Wilt, some folks gonna say Shaq. That's just me. I think LeBron has earned the right to say that he's the best power forward to ever play. Some folks gonna say Karl Malone was better than Duncan. I don't see that. I don't think nobody. It's only when you're saying the best small guards, shooting guards. You say Jordan. The only 2 people that can sit at that table with Jordan, and it's just talk is Kobe and maybe D Wade, maybe D Wade. But you had to have the starters. It's Magic to me, Jordan, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Kareem. It's me. I know somebody typing something now. He said this guy, Will said he was more athletic than Bird, and that's it. Tim Duncan was a power forward. He said first I'm the most overrated player. No. Duncan, when he first came in, David Robinson was the center, if you remember. So he played power forward. on that. Even in a lot of championships, they had a big body on there. You know, he wasn't the center. Barkley was great, but he got surpassed. See, Barkley, you know, if you was to ask me who's the second best power forward, I think it's hard to keep Karl Malone out of there. And I love Barkley, but Barkley went. Karl Malone was just, come on now. In his prime, Rasheed was the best ever. But, you know, that's what made Duncan great. His prime lasted a whole lot longer than Rasheed. He said he was a center dude, 7 foot. You got a lot of 7 foot. You got a lot of 7 foot guys who play power forward. When you look at it, he's listed as a power forward. Tim Duncan was. Yeah, he played some center. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Duncan was the truth. Oh, what's up, Queen? The Queen is in the building. Queen is in the house. Queen, I'm freestyling, so I'm just going back and forth from basketball to football. Gary brings up a great point, Chill Will on Podbean. He said Kevin Durant is 7 foot tall and he plays small forward. So the size really ain't got nothing to do with it, to be honest with you. So that's a great point. And that name there is going to, check me out in about another, if he can stay healthy, check me out about another 5 or 6 years and my little thing may change. Because Durant is going, if he can stay healthy, he's going to eat everything alive. Everything. He's unguardable. No doubt about that. Now, let's get back to some football. As I just said, the last thing I said was Dan Quinn today got voted the assistant coach of the year. That's great. That lets us know that at least from his side, we're in good hands. Appreciate you, Chill Will, for sharing the show. Chill Will said, but Kevin Durant is 120 pounds. Man, look, Chill Will, he the baddest 120 pound guy in history then. Let me just say that. If you're going to talk about his weight, there has never been nobody better. He said, you say 120 pounds. There has been nobody better than Kevin Durant. Whatever. I'm just saying. That guy is flat out lethal. I mean, he is unguardable. No doubt about it. So, Dan Quinn. Queen, I'm just freestyling. That's what I did today. I wanted to come on and let everybody make up their say what they got to say. I'm just freestyling. Dan Quinn becoming assistant coach of the year. There's going to be a lot of folks in Cowboy land that are already upset that Mike McCarthy got his job back. There's a lot of people that wanted Dan to get it. He just added another log on the fire by winning this award that he won today. Because it's obviously a lot of people think that Dan Quinn should be coaching this team. Let me say this, since I'm just freestyling. I wouldn't be upset if Dan Quinn. I don't care what y'all say about Mike McCarthy. Here's the bottom line. They won 12 games. And I know some of y'all say, yeah, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. They didn't get out the first round and all that. But considering where he was with Dak being hurt last year, all that kind of stuff, I'm just going by the record. It's kind of hard to fire a man who won 12 games. That's just the truth. But I at the same time, this is Dallas. Jimmy Johnson got fired after winning 2 back-to-back years in the Super Bowl. So 2 Super Bowls in a row and got fired. So, anything's possible with Dallas. I think Coach McCarthy is like Wendy just said. I think Coach should be where he is. And a lot of people want Quinn to do it. But what it should tell you is that just in case things go wrong during the season, I told y'all last time, Dallas better not come out with a slow start. I'm telling you, the heat in Dallas is going to be crazy. When we get off to 2-3 or 3-2, or 500. Listen, the papers, the press are going to be eating Mike McCarthy alive, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't make it through the season. I wouldn't be surprised because Jerry's already kind of said, he can step right in. And I'm talking about Dan Quinn. And I believe the players will play for him. They love him. He brings a moxie to this team, an attitude, which is what I love. A doggish type mentality. That's what we need. We ain't got time for this finesse football. I ain't got time for the cuteness of Kellen Moore play calling, the cuteness of his play. Dan Quinn's the type of guy that say, hey, we gonna run right here with this guy. We don't care if you know it or not. We're gonna go ahead and do this and stop us if we can. That's the kind of coach I like. All right. Good idea. All right, I'm almost done. I done talked my stuff. Let me do this just to show you that I'm freestyling. There it is on Pod. I'm opening up the phone line. All you got to do is hit that bag on Podbean. Hit that call in button there. I don't mind. It's open now. You guys that are on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or wherever you're watching me from, go ahead and call that line. Queen said if Dallas slow like bad case of rheumatoid arthritis, McCarthy would be on the chopping block. He should nip the cute play calling in the bud. But he can't, Queen. He can't do nothing with Kellen Moore. You know that. You know he can't do nothing with it. See, what I wanted, personally, I wanted Moore to be gone. And then if McCarthy is going to lose his job, at least he would have total control of him. He'll go out swinging because I wanted him to take over play calling. Like, if my job on the line, let me do all the play calling. I don't want to be dependent upon Kellen Moore. I don't even want that because, see, he can't do nothing with Kellen Moore. That's the way Jerry set it up. He ain't going to be able to do nothing with Kellen Moore. He ain't going to be able to do no in-game. He didn't touch him at all. Knowing Pollard only had 4 carries. Knowing Ezekiel Elliott only had 7, 8, 9 carries going into the fourth quarter. Come on now. Mike McCarthy had to be just about ready to pull his hair out, but he couldn't do nothing with him. It's not set up that way. All right.
1-404-453-4017.
Who is it?
Call from Queen.
Queen is in the building.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh my. The Queen is here. Come on, talk to me, Queen. Queen. Did I do this?
Bishop.
Right? Hey, I hear you.
Hey, you put that line out there, wave the red flag in my face, right?
Queen, you always welcome to the show. You know that. Brother, before we keep talking Podbean, can you hear the Queen? I know you hear me, but I need somebody to say yay or nay. Let me know if you can hear the Queen. Talk, Queen, real quick so I can see. What you got to say?
I'm doing good, people. How's it going? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Welcome to 2022.
There she is. They can hear you loud and clear, Queen. Come on, talk.
Now, Bishop, I'm in the same note as you. I'm not going to lie. When they said Kellen Moore was coming back, I'm not going to lie. I cried a little bit on the inside.
We all
because
do.
I'm the same note as because I'm like everybody else. At least if McCarthy's going to fall on his sword, at least he would have fallen his sword to his own means.
Yeah, and help me out, Queen, because just in case you know, Queen is one of the baddest ladies as far as football knowledge. Y'all think I know stuff. I mean, this woman here is dangerous in football knowledge. Queen, I don't see where the change will be. I truly believe that we are in a position where the talent level has to override the coaching, bad coaching decisions, bad management positions. I mean, I just think that's where we are because Kellen Moore is Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying?
True. I agree.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm not optimistic.
I agree because we got multiple factors we got going in the job. We got Kellen Moore, okay, who had the Boise job wrapped up with a bow on it, was going to have complete control of the program. Came back because Daddy Jerry said, bring back you know what here, son. Okay, we have McCarthy, who no shade to McCarthy, but if I knew that Sean Payton was thinking of bowing out of New Orleans right around when we let go of Mr. Clark, there's a lot that you could have done different because you could have just either A, took Dan Quinn from Atlanta and gave him complete control over here and bypassed McCarthy, or you could have did what some of Cowboy Nation was clamoring for, and you could have gave the job to Marvin Lewis or Eric Bieniemy, who, let's be real, Eric Bieniemy deserves a shot in the league.
Well,
no shade to Lovie Smith, but Eric Bieniemy should have got that shot.
Well, let me.
So
you know me, Queen.
Let's continue. Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Let's continue down the rabbit hole. Then you got Papa Jerry, who thinks he knows everything. I'm like, no disrespect. I have met this man twice in Atlanta. I've met him. I've met Steven. I've met Charlotte. This is where I say personally, the man is a great guy, but he needs to let go. The moment, I'll put a good analogy. Okay, the owner of the Bengals, right? He's what everybody in the league will call a miser owner, a cheap owner. He let go of the reins and let his people take care of it in his office. What are we looking at now? The Bengals are at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When he didn't have his hand in every pot, what happened, Jerry? You got 3 rings. There's a certain thing called nepotism, and there's also another thing called narcissistic. And while I love Jerry, he has a lot of narcissistic behavior.
Throw in the word stupidity with it too. Can we throw that in? Can we throw the word stupidity in
yes.
with that? Okay.
Yes, because you can be so smart and so knowledgeable, you can be stupid.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Because you can be intelligent and not have logical thinking, and you can be intelligent and not have common sense. And right now, he's short in both areas.
Exactly. And Gary is agreeing exactly with you. Gary is saying Jerry has to let guys do what he hired them to do. But, again, that's the reason why Gary and Queen, I'm not optimistic at all, because when has Jerry ever done that? You see what I'm saying? I just don't.
That part.
Yeah, I mean, sooner or later, we got to start calling things, as it is, instead of what we want them to be. I just don't see with the staff back, I believe that Quinn would be the bright spot again, because I think that he's going to make the defense even better in his second year. He's going to get some more players that fits his system. I believe the defense is going to be better. But when you start talking about the offensive side of the ball, I've seen enough with Kellen Moore to know what he's going to do, and most importantly, what he's not going to do. I've already said, look, we're going to be saying the same things that we said last year. Why isn't he running the ball? Why is Tony Pollard getting the ball under 10 times a game? Why is he running this bubble screen? Why is he struggling in the red zone? I mean, I've seen this movie too many times. But check it out, though, Queen. Here's the part that's also going to happen. The Cowboys are probably going to have a top 2 or 3 defense. Offense. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be the same thing. What's up, Coach Dante? That it's going to be, they're going to have the number 1 to 3 offense in the league, and we still going to be saying some of the same things. That's just me. I'm not optimistic at all about the offense at all, especially if all this yip talk about Amari Cooper being gone. That does not make us better. It makes us worse. So
because everybody got to remember how we struggled before we traded for Amari.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you gave
that was not pretty.
Matter of fact, it's crazy. You gave up a first round pick for him, and then in 1 or 2 years you gonna trade it away. Or let him go. That's crazy. I don't care what it takes. You keep him. It just don't. You don't want to take anything away that makes Dak Prescott worse. Taking away Cooper makes your offense worse, and it makes Dak not be as good as he is. Go ahead, Quinn.
It do, and not only that, I will say this with especially my issue is is right along with you, right along with Jerry, and a lot of people are not running the ball. When we saw in the last game against Philly, right? Mm-hmm. You had Zeke touch it, you had Tony Pollard touch it, you had Clement touch it, and then you had Daquan Hardy, who Bishop, you, myself, Gary, Geechee, the entire crew, we talked about, and that we were crazy over, that we managed to get this man as a rookie undrafted free agent, and you saw him pull off a 20-piece play into the end zone. We have a hydra at the running back position.
Loyalty.
A hydra.
We're dealing with loyalty.
Like a hydra. I'm like, and for people that don't know, a hydra is this. You take one, the other head will come back, and then it grows 2 times stronger. So it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
If you know something ain't going one way and they not stopping the line, come on.
Yeah, the optimism is just not. I can't speak for everybody. It's just not high for me.
It ain't high for me either.
I just I'm kind of numb. I don't want. I'm neutral. Like I know. I kind of know what's gonna happen. The only question is, I just want to see, are they gonna not make the mistake of taking away things that make your quarterback, especially they say, Steven comes out and say, it's all about Dak. Everything we're doing now is geared toward Dak. Well, common sense ought to tell you, if you're taking away Cooper, what's the alternative? What are you bringing in? Because certainly you ain't talking about bringing a first round pick at wide receiver thinking this gonna be, better. No. I need to know, and a lot of folks want Juju. Give me a break. Juju is not the guy.
Wait, why would you want somebody who tried to disrespect?
Yeah, come on.
To start.
Yeah, come on. Man. I don't.
Like you had, everybody may give Tristan Hill, a hard time, but Tristan Hill was looking about that action. Yeah. He was jogging right with Juju, like, you come on and start, I'm going to serve you a 2-piece and I'm going to hold the biscuit.
Yeah, I just don't understand. But The cow
I don't know.
until I hear that his deal was restructured, which is another thing, Queen, because you know this.
Yeah.
Like you restructure Dak's contract. Okay, they've already said they're gonna. Well, they haven't done it yet, but that's going to happen. They're gonna restructure his deal because they got it in the contract that they can. They restructured Tyron Smith. I think they did it to Zach Martin. Okay. Have you noticed that they never touched Amari Cooper's money? Why haven't they done that? And I think it's because something about the value of 1 or 2 years. I believe that's what it is. And then they can let them go for even more. It's, for a salary cap type thing. And I'm trying to figure out, like, this guy still ain't 30 years old. This guy still commands a double. He still commands a double team. He still commands respect when he lines up. He still opens up the field for everybody. Why would you take away a player that obviously makes your quarterback better when you're trying to say that everything is geared toward him? I just don't understand the logic on that. But these are the Cowboys, so let's just see what happens.
That is true, and I'll say this. I'm a big Bruce Lee kind of girl. Growing up watching his movies, read his books. Mm-hmm. There's a phrase that he went by, or a motto, where he said "flow like water." Mm-hmm. There's very few receivers where I can say when they run their routes, they flow like water. Mm-hmm. And Amari flows like water when he runs his route. Yeah. Where it's so effortless, where he's such a skilled technician, and with his skill set, you don't see where it's like he's trying hard. It's just effortless. It's what he is what he do. Now, if you know somebody who can do that, why you take him out? Because he's like, why are we not, coming towards me? I'm open, but you're feeling some type of way. I'm sorry, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, tell him more. Here's a newsflash, honey. You are no longer a backup. You are no longer a quarterback. You are a coordinator. So guess what? Get out your feelings of the same feelings that we had in regards to Linehan and Garrett, where you're so stubborn that because somebody is offering a different up your backside trying to say you are the great
Yeah.
Ankles left, right, and center. I'm breaking off the.
Yeah. Hold on, Queen.
What are you doing trying to run the ball in a 9-10?
To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah. All right.
Come on now.
Hold on a second, Queen. I just popped in because I'm gonna get off in a minute, but I think my brother on here, Gary, you in the house? Say something. Gary, are you there?
Gary, I'm going to tag out. Gary, you tag in.
All right.
Y'all be blessed.
All right. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, brother. Gary. Call me back, Gary. I messed it up. That's what happened when you don't know how to do all this conference line. So call me back, Gary. I'm going to keep it open for you. And Gary be my last call for the night. Hey.
Gary,
hold on a second.
Call from
Gary.
My brother, you in the house? Talk to me, Gary. What's going on, brother?
Not much, Bishop. How you doing?
Man, we trying to make happy. Queen, if you still here before Gary gets started, I got on Podbean. Miss Ty said she loved that line when you said, I'm going to serve you a two-piece biscuit, two-piece and hold the biscuit. That's Queen, man, the one and only. Love her. What's up, G? You all right, brother?
Not much, man. I'm doing a lot better. How y'all been, man?
Man, we trying, man. Come on, talk to me. Cause maybe you can give me some optimism. Maybe you can help me. Cause I ain't. Other than Dan Quinn, I just can't. I'm not vibing right now. Come on, talk to me.
I mean, it's hard to get some optimism out of what we've seen and what just happened. I mean, the closest thing I can get you to that is Kevin might figure out some new stuff. You know, he might actually get smart enough to start watching the guys that do things that work, learn how to use Pollard. That's really what we need to do. Get him out, split him out as put him in the backfield, split him out at in the slot, get him matched up on receivers. Maybe he'll start doing some things that he see other guys doing that are working. You know, how Cincinnati gets Jamar Chase the ball. Maybe he'll look into that. The guy's smart. I mean, if we can't say nothing else about Kevin Moore, we can say he's smart. Yeah. So maybe he's smart enough to look at what's working for other guys, you know, and bring that back home.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, since you just said that, I feel a little. This is Wendy. This is Gary. Gary's on the call with me now. And Gary gonna be my last call because I'm almost out of time. But you're right though, Gary. And one of the things that he can do to add to it is what he was doing at the beginning. For some reason, he stopped, and that's a lot of movement as far as motion goes. Stacking receivers on the same side, kind of way that you know, I almost want to call it a bunt set. The way that he stacked Cooper Kupp and Odell together on the same side, with the tight end even over there. I've seen that. You know, it's just certain small things that he can do to open up because, you know, for some reason, Cooper Kupp, everybody know he's getting the ball, and you still can't stop him. And it's not because he's just a blazer in speed. He's a great route runner, but he just ain't just blowing the top off. What's getting him open is scheme. It's just that simple. It's scheme. And I agree with you 100%. He needs to kind of, you know, study that playbook and add on to that. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he got another thing is every team in the league just about runs the pick plays, but we always get called for pass interference with it. I say, you know, I like Kevin. You know what I'm saying? I've been fighting for him. I've been sticking up for him. But I thought maybe he would go to Miami. We would get another coordinator. I'm looking for a guy that's more in the Dan Quinn mode. You know, because Quinn, he's not the type to just tell you what to do or bark it at you and expect you to do it. He'll get out there and show you. Yeah. We need somebody to teach these guys how to run these pick plays and how to run them correctly, so we don't get these offensive pass interference calls, because that leads to a lot of big plays. Yeah. Then I think Jerry, you know, we always acknowledge Jerry oversteps his boundaries and he hires guys, but then he still wants to run and control everything. But then we'll blame everything on the guys, the coordinators and stuff. But I think he's stepping on their toes a lot, man. Yeah. I think he the reason we don't see a lot of Deacon Pollard in the backfield at the same time no more. We saw it a couple times early on, and then it just stopped. Then we saw CD in the backfield a couple times. Then that stopped. Yeah. I mean, I think he's like, man, don't put my guy back there and get him hurt. But then, I mean, CD, he's not the same physicality level as Debo, but he can do a lot of the same things. So we can use him like that. But I think Jerry vetoes a lot of stuff, man, that people blame on the coaching staff. And I think that's the issue. You just gotta get back, you know, step out the way. Let these guys do the job that you pay them to do.
Well, to be honest with you, Gary, I think you hit the nail on the head. And just to prove the back of what you said, I think you're 100% right, because one thing about Jerry, and you can add Steven into this too, they are loyal to players and picks. And what I'm saying by that is two examples. You are loyal to that you pay Zeke Elliott $90 million. You know, $90 million running back. But you also so loyal to that you knew this man was hurt after week 4, and you knew he wasn't right. But because you were so loyal saying we got to get this money out of you, you're going to keep playing. Now, Ezekiel wanted to keep playing, but somebody upstairs should have said, no, okay, your injury requires at least 2 to 3 weeks worth of rest. It was only week 4. He could have got that rest and been ready by week 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? because the bye week is mixed in there. But you're so loyal to
another
that.
thing.
Go ahead.
I think another thing, Jerry needs to start checking out what everybody else is doing and not just listening to one person. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. I know you know that expression.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's talking about it now, like, is the Rams way the right way to get to a Super Bowl? I mean, mortgage the future and just go all in. And Jerry's stuck in, we like our guys and we want to develop our guys. I understand that part. But at the same time, you have to pay those guys once they develop. And not all of them you're going to be able to keep. So I think it's a mixture of both. I think every year you need to spend a little money, get you a couple big-name free agents, and then you need to mold your guys in the draft. Because you gotta know when to let guys go. Like Tyron, man. Tyron, he's still great when he plays, but he only good for about half a season, maybe 5-6 games. You know, you gotta let them guys go. Like Belichick. Belichick don't keep no player too long. Yeah. So he let them go. He rotate them in. It's a revolving door policy over there.
Yeah.
We got to get that same kind of mentality, man. We can't. This ain't the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not the way to do it. Guys are getting too old. They're not performing like they should, and then they got high contracts. So you want to develop your guys, and then you want to pay your guys, and then you want to keep them past their prime because you developed and paid them.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be no love in this game. It's all about winning. You got to do what you got to do to win in this league before you become irrelevant.
And there lies in the problem, because I've said that, you know, nobody don't want to admit it, but the window is closing real fast. With some of these guys that we've had for years, some of them are on the last leg. You should have taken the attitude of that is we got to go and win now, because we're about to start rebuilding in some key areas, you know, rather quickly. And you're not expecting Super Bowl when you almost gonna have to rebuild your whole line. You know what I'm saying? At least one way or the other. And so we should have been doing that, but they have this system mentality, and peak teams are passing by. I did a whole show on that, Gary, like, you know, how to build a team. You know, if we're the Jacksonville Jaguars, that draft and develop type stuff does work. Yeah, because you're trying to build. You ain't got no expectation. But when you got a team and a roster like we had, you should be trying to find one or two guys that's going to carry us over the top. That's what Jerry did when he got Charles Haley. That's what Jerry did when he got Deion Sanders. Those two guys there. You don't have to. We don't have time to draft and develop that. We don't. We got to win now. Tyron Smith is on his last leg. Lyle Collins stayed hurt. I mean, Zeke Elliott is going down. I'm not saying that he's still not effective, but he's going down. I mean, we got to win now. D-Law is at his age now. He's almost a senior statesman on the team. We got to win now. And but I all I hear is we love paying our guys. We love drafting and developing and all that kind of stuff. And all that tells me is you don't want to win. Once you seen what the Rams and the Buccaneers did the year before that, you got to win. You know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about no draft. They saying we got to win now. Yeah, man.
Jerry got to find that. He got to find that fine line, though, man. I mean, because the way that the Rams are doing it and the way he did it when he got Haley and Deion, that's part of it. That's part of it. And the way that Steven's doing is another part of it.
Yeah.
You know, they got to mesh well. You got to find that balance, because it's good to get your guys and you know what I'm saying, develop them, because that's when you ship the other guys out. They can step in and you don't get a drop off. But then you're still going to have those one key pieces that you have to go get in the free agency, the proven guys, to put you over the top. Yeah. So it has to be that balance, because both, if you look at it, both those ways got us in cap hell.
Yeah, exactly.
With Stephen Way and our guys, it did the same thing that when Jerry went and got Deion did.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to find that balance.
Yeah, Gary, I'm ready to go on get off, and my time is almost up. You know you always get in here, so I'm glad you got in, and We'll see you on next time, bro.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Bishop, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Y'all just heard from two people that are incredibly knowledgeable. That's one of my brother and my sister, Queen and Gary Atkinson. We're in a group together. We talk about this stuff all the time. I gotta get you all out of here. Okay, let me get on out of here now. All right, I appreciate you guys. I got about 2 minutes left. Join me on Saturday. I will be broadcasting, however, from you can still catch me here. You have access, but I'll be on the Spotlight Sports Network. If you follow me on my page, go and follow me on my page, okay? You'll see the interview I just did with Cheeto Awuzie. It's Super Bowl Media Day. That's right, your boy was on Super Bowl Media Day. My interview, well, not an interview, but a question that I had with Cheeto is on there. So I'll be in actually tomorrow as well in Super Bowl Media Day, thanks to the network. Big Time Show is moving up, y'all. All right. Saturday, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna open up the call lines again. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Queen. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna need y'all a little bit more. All right. Thank y'all for hanging to me. Listen, if you're not following me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's simple. Go find the Big Time Show podcast. That's all you got to do. Click along and subscribe. All right. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. This is the Big Time Show.